What's up, YouTube? It's BassheadRob back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We just wrapped up Clan versus Clan, and I put up the most points that I've ever put up. I've had a few goals in this game, and one of them was for my CvC total, and we smashed it. It was absolutely insane. You know, I put up some pretty big numbers for the past like 5 or 6 CvCs, but I didn't think that I was as prepped for this one as I was in the previous ones. But boy, was I wrong. This is by far the best. I want to go ahead and get into it with you guys, kind of show you the things that I do to put up these kind of numbers. I am a dirty spender. I will be very upfront with that. This is not a free-to-play account, but the things that I do, you can use that in a free-to-play way to go ahead and prep for CvC. CvC prep essentially starts the day after CvC, and will go all the way until CvC happens. I'm going to go over all the different things that I do to put up these crazy points, and the things that you can do to put yourself and your clan in the best position to go ahead and win. Let's jump into it. All right, so here we are. I have not gone into the finished total, so I don't even know what my total was that I finished with, but I know that is by far my best showing, and I smashed the goal that I had. So some of the things that I do when CvC first starts, I probably spend the first 3 hours in the tavern. Something that I do immediately is I will take any level 3 champion and feed it 1 brew to take it to level 10. If it's a level 3, it gets 1 brew. If it's a level 4, it gets 2 brews, 5, 3 brews, 6, 4 brews. And so I do this with every champion that I have, regardless if it's going to be food or what the case may be. So I've got all these champions that are rank 10, that are rank 3, that are level 10. And then all my 4s are at a minimum of 14 from the 2 brews. And then so on and so forth. So I will go ahead and do that. Next, I will, go ahead and make sure that I'm ranking up all of my champions. So I will have, by the time CvC starts, I will have at a minimum of 20 level 5 or rank 5 food that I will then go ahead, feed my brews into, and then 6-star at least those 4 that I'm going to then take to 6. But I'm going to do that with everything because I stay loaded up on, my 3s, my 4s, my 5s to go ahead and start getting those champions up. That way, throughout the time that I am spending during CvC, I can be camping, farming, and getting their levels up that way. That is a good source of CvC points. Obviously, you do want to make sure that when you are checking into CvC, you want to see which areas are doubled, where you get double points for up to 20,000 points. So I will also do that, make sure that I'm hitting those. Another area that you get a lot of points from is your skill tomes. Now, you can see I still have 18 and 20. Generally, when CvC is over, I don't have any left. The reason why I thought that this one wasn't going to be my best is that I probably had, 30 to 40 legendary and roughly about the same for epic, when generally I might have more than that when I think that I'm going to be putting up a crazy good score. Now, what these are going to do is you are getting, essentially, if you're using 6 legendary tomes, you're getting 18,000 points, and that took you all of 5 seconds to go ahead and pick your champion, click the 6, and then hit upgrade. 18,000 points right then and there. So, using those legendary tomes, even the epics are going to get you a ton of points. So using your tomes on the champions that you want to go ahead and add value to their skills, you can go ahead and do that. That is also something that I have, that I do that puts out, crazy numbers. Now, I did have a little help on this Clan vs. Clan. We had our fusion. I went ahead and fused Helicast, so that's 30,000 points there. And then I also got Lydia. I will be putting out a video here. I'm just editing footage from my Twitch stream to get over here to YouTube. It's a little bit harder than when I make a video like this, where I'm just recording for YouTube versus taking something from stream and then putting it over and making a YouTube video. I'm very new to YouTube, 2 video editing. I'm very new to all this, so I'm trying to figure it out as best I can. But between getting Lydia and then fusing for Helicap, that was another 60,000 points right there. Now, I probably spent, and I'm guesstimating because, again, I didn't think I was going to hit my goal. So I don't have exact numbers, but I want to say that I probably used roughly about 25 to 30,000 energy. Now, what I do when I am sleeping, Clan vs. Clan's 48 hours long. We will be sleeping. So I will be using the RSL helper over to the Spider's Den. For Clan vs. Clan, I will be doing Spider 25 because you are getting 300 points per run by completing this. So my Spider team will be running all the time overnight, and until I wake up, then we can go ahead and assess what we kind of want to do for the next part of my day. But as you can see, so we come into the Spider. Now, this is not the greatest Spider team ever by any means, but we get the job done. So this is Spider 25, and we are, we're doing some work. We're doing some work. And boom. Then we have one more hit here. And Cold Heart. There it is. Okay. So this one was even slow. This is 23 seconds versus 18 seconds, which is, my best time. But so this is about the normal range that I'm looking though. But so for every 18 to 23 seconds, we're getting 300 Clan vs. Clan points. And this is running the entire time that I'm sleeping. So definitely loading up on energy, making sure that I have the energy to go ahead and continue to do this while I'm sleeping. So this is another huge portion of where my points come from. Being able to hit this 2 to 3 times a minute. I mean, you can't be mad at 900 points versus Clan versus Clan when you're getting that per minute while you're sleeping. So that is a huge part of my game here. Now, something that I did this time that I haven't done in the past, I was maxed out on my champions. So in my champions, I was at 400 of 400, and my champion vault was actually maxed out at 400 as well. Now, I had all of these epic champions that were duplicates that were not in my faction guardians. My faction guardians for rares and epics is completely maxed out. So I had all these duplicate epics just sitting in my vault. I am now down to 231 out of 400. So I roughly used, let's just call it, 170 of these epic champions that I then fed in as books into my unbooked epics. Now, if there were some like that have been used, like let's just say, for example, like I don't use Battle Sage or Whisper at all, so they're just sitting in my vault, but they're already both booked. So then I used one of their, I used their faction guardian partner, who maybe, let's take a look at Battle Sage. So we have a level 14 Battle Sage that now has, 4 or 5 books put into her just by feeding the duplicate champions into her. But so I did that with essentially 170 champions, but that gave me a ton of points. Obviously, this isn't something that I can do every time. I'm not going to have all these epics just laying around, but this is something that I was able to do this time while making sure that they're upgraded, so that way, they were at a minimum of level 14 by using 2 brews to get them to 14 and then feed them into the other champion. So doing this, I mean, I probably spent the first 4 or 5 hours in the tavern and in my vault for faction wars to go in and get this started. There's other things that I do as well. The Great Hall, I only upgrade my Great Hall. I try to farm as many gold medals as I can to get my Great Hall updated. This is a good area of points as well. Obviously, it's, you're only going to get a few in here. Right now, I am prioritizing my resist in the Great Hall. Once the resist is done for all 4, I will then move over to accuracy and go from there. But this is another area where I got a ton of points by going ahead and getting these upgraded. Another great place to farm points is the Forge. The Forge is amazing. This is where I get most of my gear. I really haven't even been farming any of the dungeons outside of Spider, and that's mainly for silver. I have not been farming dungeons for gear. I've been working on the Forge, whether that is, using faction wars to go ahead and get pieces for my perception and resilience gear, or getting in the Doom Tower to get everything else that I need. I was really lucky to get a bunch of good lethal gear that I was able to use with me farming Dark Fae for the first time. You know, I'm definitely a mid-game player. I'm, you know, 140 something days into the game, so working on Doom Tower is like my next area of like my main focus. I right now I am up to, I believe, level 90 on Doom Tower hard. I'm having issues right now with Bommel. I was solo cheesing him, but it's not working. My block damage is getting removed. So I'm still working on that, but I have Doom Tower normal completely done, and, you know, trying to get up to the top here for Doom Tower hard. But, you know, it's a work in progress. But using my keys every day to go ahead and farm these for the fantastic pieces of gear that we can get from the Forge, that's a great way to go ahead and get points, because you are getting, you know, phenomenal points from the Forge when you are crafting those 5 and 6 star pieces. So that's another great way to do it. I do not craft anything from the Forge unless it is clan versus clan. I save up all of my rank and rarity charms for the entire time that we are leading up to the next clan versus clan, and then I will use both the rank and rarity charms every time that I'm crafting from the Forge. So the 10x, the 10 times that we can pull now versus doing it one at a time, makes things a lot easier. But it's also nice because if you don't get good pieces, you're actually selling them for a lot more than what we use to craft. So in a roundabout way, it still is a great way for silver as well. So I'm using those things, putting all that together, and really playing Raid as much as I can over the course of 48 hours, whether I'm awake or I'm not awake, if I am just, you know, using the RSL helper to go ahead and farm while I'm doing this overnight. So that is essentially what I'm doing for clan versus clan to put up some big numbers. So without further ado, let's check it out. Let's check out what I was able to do this clan versus clan. So we did lose, unfortunately, put up 5.8 million versus an 8.3 million. We did luckily still get our banners, which is so nice. So we got a defensive banner there, and then we got an HP banner, both for the Dark Elves. Really glad to have those reaction pieces. Now, let's see what your boy did. Boom, 1.3 million. 1.3 million. I wanted to break 1 million, that was my goal. And I did it in probably about 28 hours that I hit it. The second day went pretty slow. We were definitely not putting up as many points as I would have liked for me to really push at the end. You know, I get a lot done. You know, losing a clan versus clan isn't the end of the world, because I'm still doing so much for my account. I am still doing so much for my champions and getting things leveled. So it's one of those things. It's, you know, it sucks. You obviously want to win, but when you're still getting some rewards out of it, and it does suck that I lost out on the personal rewards with having everything done. But, you know, you do what you can. You know what I mean? You work with what you got. So that is what I did here. So again, a 1.3 million, your boy did it, got a new goal. So, you know, we'll see, we'll get some resources stocked back up and see what we can do for the next one, man. But that is my clan versus clan kind of tutorial here. But I appreciate you guys so much for your time. I hope you guys had a lot of fun playing in clan versus clan. And I cannot wait to have you back for the next video here. Like I said, I'm going to put out my video on how I got Lydia. But yeah, if you're liking the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications for the next video that comes out. But I appreciate y'all. You enjoy the rest of your day.